Hey there, welcome. Thanks for joining me. So today's tutorial is actually a participation to Happily Thriving Heidi's challenge for the month of March, which was the Easter challenge. She also asked if we could make a DIY using more of the religious decor for Easter. So I'm going to make a little bit of both. And the first project, we're going to use one of these red trucks. Mine broke for the for fall. So what I decided to do was recycle it, and I'm just going to add some E6000 to fix it. But I'm also removing the little plastic or windshield part and the little banner that says fall on it. Then I'm going to go ahead and spray paint it the color cream. I'll leave the exact color down below. And one thing, if you want to do the same thing or you have one of these wagons, make sure you tape your little wheels on it so you don't have to do the repainting of them again. I didn't, so I'm going to go ahead and repaint mine. And once it's all completely dry, go ahead and get the flowers of your choice. I'm using these green or lime green daisies from Dollar Tree, and I just used one of the stems, and I believe there's 6 in each one of the stems. And I just cut off as much as I could from the back of the flower, and I'm just going to glue them on to where the corn area was at on my wagon, or I'm sorry, my truck. And just go ahead and add as much as flowers as you like. Again, I'm using all the same color, but of course you can use any color you like or a variety of different flowers. Another thing I'm going to add are the greenery. I just didn't add it together. I like adding it in little bunches and just separate individual areas. So I'm just going to go ahead and add greenery wherever I think it needs it. And there you have it. Now what I'm going to do again is paint my wheels. And I just decided to go ahead and paint mine a darker gray, like a smoky color gray instead of black. But of course you can paint them black again or any color you'd like. And all I did was give it 2 coats of the same color. And now once you're done with that, go ahead and grab any kind of wire ribbon that you want to use for whatever you feel like writing onto your truck. In my case, I'm going to write the word spring, and all I did was just trace out the triangles from the same size of my fall little sign that I already had on the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the triangles. And I'm using the turquoise and the dark green burlap wire ribbon from Dollar Tree. Go ahead and get some jute twine, and I just pulled it kind of straight as possible using my scissors and pliers, and I'm just going to start gluing on my little triangles to the jute twine. Once you've glued all the triangles that you need for whatever you feel like writing onto your truck, go ahead and get a permanent marker and just start writing each individual letter onto each one of the flags. And then now go ahead and place it on top of your truck and just insert the sides of the jute twine to the sides of your truck where there's already an opening, and then just go ahead and glue them, the jute twine onto your truck, just flipping it over and adding a little dab of hot glue. And I had some more of this, the same color ribbon already tied up with jute twine. The reason why I have it tied up like that is because I was trying to make a DIY that just, I couldn't figure it out to make it look right. So I went ahead and just pulled it all apart, but I decided to leave all these tied together just so it could be easier for me to use for other projects. So I just went ahead and made a bow with all the little pieces of jute, of ribbon that I had tied up already. And all I'm going to do is glue it and tie it onto the handle part of my truck. And I also add a little bit of hot glue on one of the ribbons just so I can glue it onto the wiring as well so it can stay in place. And there you have it, an adorable little different version of a wreath for your door. So for our next DIY, I'm going to use these Easter egg crosses, and all I did was open them up, and then using my hot glue gun, I'm just going to make an opening on either side of the cross. Now you don't have to open up the Easter egg or cross. You can glue them together to make sure they stay close together, and you can use just one cross for each wreath or the opening that you're going to use. But I decided to go ahead and just open it up and use each individual side of the cross for my DIY. And once you've done that with all your crosses, just go ahead and set those aside for now. And we will be using those in a minute and spray painting them. Now you can use the ping pong balls or the golf balls like I have for this part of the project. Now, I really wanted to use the ping pong balls, but I don't have any. So I went ahead and just decided to use what I have, which were the golf balls. They have a little bit more texture, as you can tell, but they still work the same way. Go ahead and use your hot glue gun again and just make an opening on either end of your golf ball or your whatever ball you decide to use. And then what I did was just insert them onto a skewer stick. And I added 3 or 4 on each one of the sticks just so I could spray paint them. It just makes it a lot easier to spray paint that way. And I did the same thing using a skewer stick for my crosses. Now the golf balls, I did spray paint them black, and now my crosses, I'm spray painting it the same color I painted my truck, which is the cream color. So go ahead and spray paint them all the color of your choice and allow them to dry. Once they're all completely dry, just go ahead and start removing them from your skewer sticks. And I'm using some wiring, or you can use one of the wreath wirings and just use your pliers and cut off one of the rings if you want to use it that way. I just grabbed some wiring from Dollar Tree as well and started inserting my golf balls. And basically I just added 3 golf balls, 1 cross, 3, 1, and just continued that until I finished all my golf balls. This came up to me, I got this idea because I wanted to make this exact project or DIY, but with beads, and the beads were just too small. It looked funny to me. So when I saw the golf balls, I thought this would be perfect to use as like an imitation kind of bead. So that's why I'm using the golf balls. So just go ahead and add as much or as many or as little as you like of your golf balls and your crosses as well. Once you've added all of them, go ahead and cut off the excess part of your wiring so you can twist your wiring together to make that form of a circle. Just grab both ends and start twisting it together to make the shape of your circle. Now what I did so my crosses wouldn't move around or flip from one side to the other, I just added a dab of hot glue on the ends of my crosses where the wiring comes in through it, and it stayed nice and firm that way. Next, I went ahead and grabbed a little piece of cardboard or a poster board or what have you, and then I'm going to add some greenery onto that little board. I'm using some of these ferns, and also I'm going to use some lavender from Walmart. And if you didn't want to add greenery to this wreath, you can also make a bow, just adding whatever color ribbons you want to match your Easter decor. But in my case, I wanted it more the religious, so I wanted to use purple in it as well. So that's why I'm using my lavender. And just go ahead and start adding it onto the center of where your larger ferns are at. I'll also be leaving a link to Heidi's channel down below, as well as the link of all the other participants for the month of March collab or challenge that Heidi had posted for us. I'll leave that link as well down below as soon as she posts it up. I believe it's March the 13th that she'll be posting it. So I'll make sure to leave a link of that down below as well. So once you've added as much or as little lavender as you like to your little floral arrangement, go ahead and grab that other cross and add some hot glue or E6000 and glue it onto the center of your lavender. Allow it all to completely dry, and using the jute twine that you added onto the little square as well, go ahead and flip it over and tie your jute twine together. Once you've tied your jute twine, go ahead and grab your hot glue gun, adding some glue, and then just moving the wiring from your wreath above that and holding it for a few minutes just to allow it to dry. Another thing I did was I just grabbed another little piece of cardboard so I could press on to the wiring to make sure that it stayed nice and firm and in place. And there you have it, your religious wreath. I'm not going to hang mine, but if you do decide to hang yours, go ahead and add a hook or something to the back of that using jute twine or some wiring. So my next project is really easy. All you did, I did was spray paint each one of the Easter eggs, and I spray painted mine gray. Now I'm using one of these white markers, and I'm going to write the word or spell out the word Jesus. Now you can spell out anything you'd like for Easter or just any wording that you'd like. Just make sure you spray paint enough eggs for whatever you decide to write on them, and then just write one individual letter onto each Easter egg. Once you're done spelling out whatever you decide to write on your Easter eggs, go ahead and grab any kind of tray that you like. I'm using this wooden tray that I have. That's, I believe it's a dough tray, that's what they call it. But I just added some moss, a pine cone, and some little flowers that I had. in my stash box and went ahead and added the word Jesus with the Easter eggs in the center of it. So this is my take of my religious Easter decor and also my spring wreath. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and share with friends and family. And also don't forget to go and check out Heidi's channel as well as the link to the collaboration of this DIY challenge for the month of March. I hope you guys enjoyed again. Until next time, you guys stay blessed. Bye.